Hello, everyone. Dog culture and the court of public opinion. Has this ever happened to you? You speak the truth about dogs, and all of a sudden, you got several people calling you an animal hater, asking what's wrong with you, even though what you said is completely true and comes from your experience with dogs. Well, then you've probably experienced the court of public opinion that dog culture creates. So we're over here at the Britannica page looking up some stuff about the court of public opinion. So, political attitudes of these persons are often stimulated or reinforced by outside agencies. So, dog culture is like an outside agency that influences politicians, elites, business owners, families, judges, police officers, and so many other people. Something that the court of public opinion can create is the tyranny of majority. So, if the majority of people have been brainwashed into thinking dogs are better than humans, then all a entity has to do is label somebody a dog hater to make them look bad. All they have to do is label some activity they're doing out in society as a benefit to dogs, even though it may not be. They can have a tyranny over the way that you think, a tyranny over how you spend your money, a tyranny over where you live, your movements, and so many other things. Dog culture is a huge part of this. And the elite people that want to influence society, they know this, and that's why they push dogs so much. Look at celebrities, look at politicians that refuse to speak out about dangerous dogs. Look at all the celebrities that are philanthropists, but none of them put money into foundations to help with pit bull attacks. Celebrities will do the Make a Wish Foundation and go to hospitals, but they never go and help children that have been attacked by dogs. And then they go back to their celebrity mansions and promote dogs. Here's an example of the court of public opinion. So, Chris Pratt, he got smashed by the court of public opinion because he tried to do something with the cat. So, he has a cat. This is a while back. And he offered the cat to get rehomed. Anyone want a cat? So they labeled him a cat hater. So the cat culture, pet culture, dog culture, this is all the same thing. So they called him some nasty names. You can, see what people called him, a trash bag. So how is he going to bounce back from that? Well, all he has to do is hook up with Dave Bautista and push the pit bull ownership. So while Chris Pratt goes to the Make a Wish Foundations for kids that are in the hospital, he's not going to go talk about dog attacks and how to prevent them. He's going to push more pit bulls out there. So Chris Pratt was a victim of the court of public opinion, but he bounced back by making himself part of the court of public opinion by pushing dog ownership. Here's another example of the court of public opinion. So we're over at the case of the Genesee County jail where the dog was slapped or punched, and everybody is lined up to drag this inmate under the bus. They got all these people, the sheriff, they got the dog, they got the sheriff spokesman. They're all lined up to talk about this dog and make that guy look bad. And so the court of public opinion is totally ready to increase that guy's sentence and everything else because supposedly a dog was injured in jail. So at any given time, all they have to do is use a dog and they can label someone as bad. And another part of this, the presence of the dogs, the dog worship in our society, it also allows them to do really bad things that normally they wouldn't be allowed to do. But since the dog is there, they actually escape the court of public opinion. So this is working twofold. if something is connected to dog culture, well, it's okay. But then if something is connected to dogs and they want to make it look bad, they can easily sick all of the public people on whoever they want. So here is an example that relates to that prison thing. So the dog was slapped by the inmate, and they're throwing this huge fit over it. They're talking about the inmate should beat that guy up and so many other things. Yet, if dogs hurt people inside of facilities similar to the jail, like look at all these stories. We have a vet tech attacked by a police canine officer. If you go look at some of these stories, they will ramble on about, well, this could have been prevented if the person would have not invaded the dog's space or some other thing. So this allows terrible, terrible things to be done to humans, but they'll label it as a minor offense because it has to do with dogs. So the public will just sit back and not care about this. But if something little happens, like the dog getting slapped in the face, well, that will be labeled some type of terrible atrocity, and then they can convict or otherwise crucify somebody. So this court of opinion can just be yielded against anybody at any time. On the surface, when we look at dog culture, it kind of seems like a big portion of our country are just financially unintelligent because dogs are a huge expense and dogs cannot help you like a real human friend. So, oh, it's just because of like low IQ and dogs are profitable, so maybe that's the issue. But it's way deeper than this. The people that want us to own a bunch of dogs, part of the reason is they want to have constant, powerful influence over us and be able to turn us against each other. So even when dog ownership isn't profitable to the country, so many people will push dog ownership. A great example was President Trump's election. He made a speech about a dog, and then a whole bunch of entities went out of their way to call him some type of dog-hating, animal cruelty promoter. They even made these videos where they get a Trump hat and have a dog chew it up, and then they'll say, oh, ha ha ha, see, dogs know that Trump is a POS, etc., etc. And it all started with this little speech from Trump. So notice something about this.
Deep down in a box, and it comes to a screeching halt, barking at every time. So I asked the people that sell the machinery at a lot of money. I said, let me ask you a question. This stuff is incredible. I'm really impressed. How does it compare to a German Shepherd? Guy looks at me and goes, sir, honestly, it's not as good. Can you believe it?
So Trump says a bunch of good stuff about a drug sniffing dog. So he's given props and accolades to the drug sniffing dog. But then he expresses his opinion about having a dog in the White House.
German Shepherd. Certain types of dogs. Very good. You do love your dogs, don't you?
Notice how the crowd is super excited, clapping, smiling.
I wouldn't mind having one, honestly, but I don't have any time. I don't have.
Oh, now they're all starting to have a bad day all of a sudden.
How would I look walking a dog on the White House lawn? Would that be right? Sort of not for, I don't know, it doesn't, I don't feel good. Feels a little phony to me. A lot of people say, oh, you should get a dog. Why? It's good politically. I said, look.
It's good politically. So he was outspoken about not having dogs in the White House. And then all of a sudden, all of these outlets started calling him a dog hater. And then it made him look bad. I'm sure he lost hundreds and thousands of votes because he spoke the truth there. But that's how the court of public opinion can even affect presidential elections. And once Biden got into office, they continued using this. They got as much power from public opinion as they could. They just raked it in. They did all these little prop pieces with the dogs walking around on the lawn at the White House. All these little things where Joe Biden adopts the dog. He goes on the beach with the dog. Oh my goodness. But after all of that BS, all these Secret Service agents ended up getting attacked. And so, this court of public opinion thesis that I'm telling you about, this has been around for a long time. Hitler used it. Hitler presented himself as a lover of animals, and that's how his cabinet got into power, is because the Germans, they thought that that was super great. However, he was not the lover of animals that everybody thought he was. So, does this make any sense? How dog culture creates a court of public opinion that can be turned against anybody at almost any time? This court can label minor offenses of humans as terrible atrocities just because a dog was perhaps disadvantaged. But it also allows dogs to do bad things that we normally wouldn't allow humans to do, from small and large. Like all over the place, it's almost cool to allow your dog to urinate and defecate all over the place. People just let it happen. They complain about it, but it just keeps happening. But if you went down to the public park and just dropped your pants and started defecating everywhere, doing stuff like this, yeah, you would be in huge trouble. They'd probably take you to jail or something or fine you. So that's been a look at the court of public opinion in dog culture. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. See you later.